Hey everybody, it's your pal Mike Zombie, and this week we're going to talk about The Dead and the Damned, or as I saw it, Cowboys and Zombies from 2011. This is a brand new thing, and sadly, because it is brand new, I'm not going to wreck it and tell you every scene like I do with the older stuff. Or if this one was really shitty, I would just ruin it. But this, while low budget, is higher end low budget and worth the watch, and I don't want to fuck it up for you. Written and directed by Rene Perez. It's, well, as the title says, Cowboys and Zombies, set back in the 1800s. And it tells the story of a bounty hunter named Mortimer that, I think my main problem with this movie was, I don't think it's so much the characters, but I think it's the people that were chosen to play these characters. Mortimer, the bounty hunter, is played by David Lockhart, and he's not that he's a bad actor, but I didn't find him believable in this role. He seemed like kind of a mousy guy, like a little bit smaller. I mean, he's just swinging a bucket of balls and kicking ass in this film. So I don't know. Didn't really buy him in the part, but he's going around collecting bounties. He's got this goal in mind that we don't really learn about until the closing, half of the film. But going around, knocking out these bad guys, shooting them, taking their money, getting the bounties, and he's just chasing the dollar. So he ends up chasing down the bounty on the Indian, played by Richard Mora. And this was probably the single biggest problem I had with this film. Richard Mora, the Indian, he looks the part, every bit the part. He appears to be a young Indian, brave, tough guy, He really, to me, he was so... See, I hate to walk this line and even go to this spot, but I'm going to say he was wider than me, which was, fine. But when you're trying to again with the characterization, he's probably a fine actor. When you're trying to portray him as an Indian and you do the stereotypical things, because they've made him the stereotypical movie Indian. He's got the long, beautiful hair. He's got the very nice tan skin. He's got the Indian strong features. He's wearing the fucking turquoise, neckband and all this other stuff. He looks like a brave. Conversationally with this guy, he's very fluent, making sense. Like it's almost as if you're speaking with an executive. He's he's speaking very well. And then occasionally he'll purposely put in like a odd-sounding word, that kind of signifies, I'm an Indian brave. And I didn't buy that at all. But he looked the part. So I'll give him that. It wasn't a bad actor. Just like I said, the characterization in this film, these people I just didn't buy. Now, what I did like was, before anything even gets started, the director, Rene Perez, really capitalized on what became available, because looking here, for no reason whatsoever, hold on. All right, we good? All right, we're back. Okay, my hat's off to Rene Perez, the director, because he knows how to make use of things that become available, how to get the most bang for his buck. Because there's a scene fairly near the beginning where Heather Montanez, probably Montañez, but there's no little squirrely thing over the end. So Heather Montanez is just this beautiful lady walking in this field with a bucket of hot water, and she just stops, disrobes, and just starts giving herself a sponge bath. And it is a sight to behold. It had no reason being in the film. She's not a character that we deal with before or after this. She yells at a guy who's spying on her. But to me, it had nothing to it other than just remarkable cinematography. There was a lot of topless women in this movie. Oh, I'm getting a text here from Zombie Farmer. I'm going to leave this in my review because I told Zombie Farmer today that I would mention her in my review today, and my ferret Dexter. So I'm going to say that if Zombie Farmer had have been in this film, she would have kicked the shit out of these zombies, and her little portable furry assassin would have been my ferret Dexter, that would have been on her shoulder with like some kind of cowboy hat and maybe a little bandana. Ooh, that'd be kind of cool. He is tricky. So the two of them would make a crime-fighting, zombie-killing duo. So I've kept my word. Zombie Farmer from Don't Look in the Podcast, you've been mentioned. And Dexter, stop biting my feet, you little weasel. I'm going to leave that in. Fuck it. So, great use of women ready to be topless in this film. And you know what? Aside from that first clip where she's just taking a sponge bath for no reason, the rest of it made sense. You know, they worked it in a way where it was just natural and not like, I think I need to have my top off. The sun is shining. You know, I mean, so it kind of made sense. Anyway, these two yokels find a meteorite, which is crashed and has this weird glowing green shit. Of course, hit it with a pickaxe thinking it's emerald and release this space spore mist. Kind of looks like monsters being sprayed around. And everybody in town turns into a crazed zombie. Now, these zombies look pretty good. The effects were... Ow, I hit myself in the face with the microphone. Sorry. I'll leave that in, too. Now, these zombies were done by one guy and did a nice job. It was a lot of CGI as far as effects like, gunfire and, things like that. But in zombies, it wasn't so much where it was distracting, not at all. In fact, for being a low-budget independent film, I think it was great the way they used it. It more than sufficed and kept it good, kept it entertaining. Of course, Mortimer, our bounty hunter, is trying to chase this Indian who he believes has raped and killed a white woman, and he has purchased Rhiannon, played by Camille Montgomery, an angry woman who is for some reason indebted to this guy who's trying to sell off three women as either wives or hookers or whatever. And the bounty hunter Mortimer takes her along as bait. He ties her down in a field and, tries to trick the Indian into taking the bait. And again, since this is a brand new film, I'm not going to ruin it for you and tell you how it goes. I just gave you the basic in the beginning. Story-wise, when you set aside the fact that, well, it's Cowboys versus Zombies, it's pretty much exactly what we would expect. People that don't like each other, of course, put in a situation where you kind of have to work together, and things come from that. And the action was good, I'm going to say. A lot of good gunplay in this film, a lot of good zombie stuff going on. So aesthetically, it pleased me that way. And one thing I will note, I did enjoy an error that I kept watching over and over. I kept going back. There's a scene where we're kind of looking through the eyes of Mortimer as he's walking through a field shooting everything. And basically, our point of view is his eyes, and he's looking at his arm as he's extending the gun and shooting people. And for about 3 seconds, it's cool until they actually turn a little bit from the sun. And then you see his shadow plainly on the ground as he's walking with the gun extended, and the guy with the HD cam walking behind him with it up on his shoulder. So, and it's really, you can't miss it for anything in the world. And I laughed and watched that part over and over. Now, typical plot twists aside, and little errors which I can certainly forgive, this film had something that I really liked. There's a zombie in this film. I'll just say she's blind. And we are treated to like a good 3 or 4 minute scene where she is seeking someone out. And this actually had me going, ooh, and watching the screen. The effects were great. It was acted really well, and it was fucking creepy, and I really, really liked it. So in the event that Renee Perez or that zombie ever hears this, and fucking brilliant. That acting in that scene may have been some of the best zombie stuff I've seen in years, independent or otherwise. I don't know. See, that's what I like when it's just, maybe it's the animal instinct thing that I like more than the calculating part. I don't know, but very much like that scene. Oh, that was Lauren. I'm looking here, Blind Mutant on the IMDb. Her name was Lauren C. Kelly. Lauren, amazing job. Amazing job. So I'm going to give this film a recommendation. It's like 3.8 stars, and I'd probably say somewhere between there and 5 out of 10. Come on. I found it entertaining. It had some holes that, were kind of tough to jump over and some visual mistakes, but I like the fact they took it somewhere I haven't really seen it very often before. It's not the first cowboy zombie movie I think I've seen, but it was done pretty well. Music was very nice. It was filmed nicely, edited very well, great use of CGI. And I hate CGI just because it's usually so in my face that it takes away the realism. Not here. It was plentiful, but just enough to where it was like, okay, this seems good to me. And I'd love to ruin it and tell you how it ends, but I want you to see it. So check out Cowboys Vs Zombies, or the other title, which is The Dead and the Damned. Oh, more things I'm going to piss and moan about before I let it go completely off the hook with a thumbs up. There's a character called the German that's involved in this, and I found the character very unnecessary because it's a German in the Old West. So this immediately made me think, oh, okay, it's the three amigos being tailed by the two German guys, with the guns. It was kind of the same thing, and I don't know if maybe that's where the writer/director got it from, but I didn't think it was necessary. The Dead and the Damned, to be honest with you, I don't know if it's available online, through Netflix, but go to their website. You certainly can get it through them, and I would suggest doing it. Support these guys. Support Renee. He did a good job. Yeah, New Year's Eve tonight, so have a good time, but be safe. All right. Oh, here we go. I'll do the dumb joke. Oh, my God. I'm not going to get to talk to you guys again until next year. Oh, no. But fuck it. See you next year.